The big news for 2017 Porsche 911s, they are all turbocharged, but this is the turbo, the 911's 911, equally at home grabbing a gallon of milk or slaying supercars on closed courses, all four wheels. Propel it from rest to 60 miles an hour in 2.8 seconds. Stuttgart produces more aggressive cars, but none as balanced.
You can't really push a car like this on public roads. Fortunately, I'm at a track. And not just any track.
Thunder Hill Raceway outside of Sacramento, California, is nearly 5 miles of off-camber corners, elevation changes, and blind whoop-de-doos. Hurley Haywood, arguably America's most decorated endurance driver, advises to trust the car.
If you make a mistake, it corrects the mistake for you.
I'm driving the more potent Turbo S model. The interior has all the creature comforts drivers could want, including Porsche's much improved touchscreen user interface. Like all 911s, the back seat is only for small kids or luggage. In lava orange, it's very stealthy. Parked among 1,000 of these. The S model's 3.8-liter six-cylinder lives under here. It's twin turbocharged. At 580 horsepower, there's 40 more than the standard turbo model. There's up to 553 pound-feet of torque.
The turbos are different from the ones found in a standard 911. For one thing, these are larger. And remember, this is a flat-six engine where the pistons fire horizontally, not vertically like most engines.
The 7-speed dual-clutch PDK gearbox with its eye-blink shifts is the only transmission. Cabrio drivers, keep the top up today. It's 104 degrees, hardly ideal for hard romping.
You sure your seat cooler is on and your AC is going?
Hurley Haywood himself says to use the PDK transmission in the automatic mode. He says that's the mode that he uses. I'm not going to second guess him.
Watch carefully, the rear wing and active front end kick in for added downforce. At speeds over 100 miles an hour, the turbo is as calm as an ordinary commute.
All right, I'm at 135 and braking. Thank goodness for carbon ceramic brakes.
Standard on the S, they are completely fade-free, even when hammered in blistering heat. Top speed is 205 miles an hour.
This car is so easy to drive, even on a difficult track like this.
There is never a moment when the Turbo S doesn't communicate completely in corners. It's perfectly planted.
Whoa, car unweights, handles it very nicely. You can feel the electronics feathering in, but they are not draconian. Very, very, very nicely done.
The turbo's impellers have variable vane geometry, and the throttle valve always stays open just a little bit to minimize turbo lag. To wring out every ounce of oomph, push the Sport Response button for 20 seconds of engine overboost and aggressive shift calibration.
That speed is amazing. Hurley is definitely right about the transmission. It is always in the right gear. Wow. I need to make more money.
Drivers swap in and out of the cars all day. Despite the heat and the pounding, the only issue with the 8 cars on hand is a chipped windshield. Impressive. With no servicing, I drive the Turbo S away from Thunder Hill down to Monterey for the Pebble Beach Concours weekend. After that, I pick up my son in San Jose and spend a few days motoring up the coast, where the Tangerine Turbo will end up in the Seattle press fleet. Road noise is moderate. The adjustable suspension feels a skosh firmer overall than a standard 911, but certainly civil enough for everyday use.
Now, perhaps you're thinking, I'm never going to buy a Porsche 911 Turbo S. How does a car like this affect me? Well, it does, because great technology is often developed in high-performance vehicles like this, and then trickles down to regular, ordinary, everyday cars, making them safer, more fuel efficient, and better handling.
I saw 26 miles per gallon on the highway, exceeding the EPA's estimate, and I was not lollygagging.
Price, a base 911 Turbo Coupe will set you back about 160 grand. The slightly optioned S model, 196. Kids, a good reason to study hard and get into a good college.
The 911's organic teardrop design is as pure as anything on four wheels. Some buyers prefer the visual flamboyance of a Lamborghini or Ferrari. That's understood, but it's hard to beat the 911 Turbo S's balance of style, performance, and versatility. If you want to know more about the 2017 Porsche 911, check out my review of the Cabrio version on YouTube. It shows more of the interior and the features. Many are much the same on the Turbo. I usually do a director's cut of the version that I edit up for the New York Times. This one has a lot more explanation about my trip. For example, to get down to Sacramento and for more experience in a 911, I drove down in a press car that needed to be returned to California. You might recognize it. It's that Cabrio that I just mentioned. Oh, and the other driver offering advice to the assembled riders was 24 Hours of Le Mans winner David Donahue. I just don't have any video of him. There was a lot of chatter amongst the writers from Car and Driver, Motor Trend, Drive, and Wall Street Journal that often drive hard on the track, much of it commenting on how well the 911 Turbo held up in the heat, while other high-performance cars might wither after hours of hard use. Again, it was notable. If you ever get the chance to experience Pebble Beach weekend, it's a wild, crazy time full of awesome cars and awesome people. I know I can't pull this look off. Many people don't know about the Quail, where there's a rich mixture of cars, past and present. I saw a number of celebs there, including Jay Leno. The food is free, but the ticket is $600. Eat your fill. At the Porsche Zentrum, I was able to spend some quality time with Klaus Zellmer, president and CEO of Porsche Cars North America, who showed off the new Panamera. Yes, it looks much more svelte than the outgoing car in back. It really does. That alone should boost sales. The interior has been simplified as well, giving it a more graceful look. And then, of course, there's the rear wing. Kids will beg owners to deploy it. I know I asked. Professional curiosity. Also during the weekend, I was able to take a hot lap at Laguna Seca in a Mazda MX-5, fulfilling a dream to run the famous corkscrew there. Sucks to be me. There was also the Porsche Works reunion with generations of cars represented. Personally, I'm a sucker for the 944 and 928 since I love the design of those. There were plenty of fine examples on hand. A shout out to those of you who stopped me to say hi. Then there was the Pebble Beach Concours itself. I attended Dawn Patrol, where folks line up at sunrise to watch the cars being driven into place. The classic car insurance company, Haggerty, provides coffee and donuts, plus they give out 500 of these hats, which become collector's pieces. I felt sorry for the people handing them out. They were swarmed by thousands of people. Honestly, there must be more billionaires per square foot during this weekend than any place on Earth. But my favorite part of the trip was returning to Seattle with my son. You learn things rocketing up a highway in a small, high-performance car, and not just that our music tastes are terribly different and that orange Sour Patch Kids are the worst flavor. I think people were surprised to find this at the bad budget hotel we stayed at. We saw some beautiful country heading up the coast, and we tried to stay away from fast food and discover restaurants with character and history. Kids grow up fast, everyone. That's a cliche that's all too true.
That is a trip I'm not going to forget anytime soon. Spending a little bit of quality time with my son, especially these days, absolutely priceless. I highly recommend it. And yes, it is special in a car like this, but you don't need it. You could always rent a premium vehicle from Hertz or Avis. They do that these days. And before I go, a little bit of classic Porsche 911 Turbo advertising. Remember this? Kills bugs fast? Quite possibly the best car ad ever. And truth in advertising. That is what happens when you drive all the way up the coast as fast as we did. I usually try to keep these cars clean, but these things happen. That's Driven. I'm Tom Voelk.